Hello and welcome to ITV News West Country with Seb and Claire.
Thank you for joining us. The headlines this Monday evening. The search continues for a man who went missing after trying to save a woman and her dog in Burnham-on-Sea. Good evening and welcome to the programme. First tonight, an urgent search has been underway for a man missing at sea after he tried to rescue a woman and her dog.
It happened yesterday off the coast of Burnham-on-Sea in Somerset after the woman went into the water trying to save her dog. Both the woman and her animal made it back to shore. Well, Robert Murphy is in Burnham for us this evening. I mean, Robert, concern for this gentleman, it must be mounting.
Absolutely. In fact, the search has been called off for the day. It will resume tomorrow. It was called off at about 4:30 this afternoon. There have been searches on the beach here via hovercraft, but also in the sea and in the sky as well. This all happened about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when we understand a dog got into difficulty in the sea and the dog's owner, a woman, went in to rescue the dog. She herself got into difficulty and a man who was watching dived in to try to save her, but he was swept away while she, the dog's owner and the dog were both pulled to safety. We know very little details about the man who is missing, except that he is in his 50s. Quite quickly, we understand the operation turned from being a search and rescue to a search and recovery. And with more than 24 hours having passed, the prospects of him being found alive remain extraordinarily slim, although the search will continue tomorrow.
Barb's volunteers have been working with the RNLI and Coast Guard today in continuing the search along the coastline following a person going missing behind me yesterday, and hovercrafts, helicopters, lifeboats and land searches have been undertaken, and those are ongoing. Our thoughts are very much with the family at this difficult time.
And Rob, we know from previous tragedies that that area is particularly treacherous because of deep mud and high tides.
Yes, I mean, take a look at it now and it looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? But this is one of the biggest tidal ranges anywhere on the planet. The tide tonight is going to be the same as it was last night. That's some 11 metres. That's a lot of water and a lot of power behind that water as well. There have been a couple of high-profile deaths here over the last few years. Back in 2002, a young girl called Lelena Hall was trapped in mud flats and was killed just a couple of miles away from here at Barrow. And 10 years later, in August 2012, a young boy, he was just 4 years old, Dylan Cecil, was swept to sea from the very jetty upon which I'm standing at the moment. This is a popular place to come, popular place to live and to come on holidays to see the sea, but the water is utterly treacherous, as the family of a man is discovering tonight.
Robert Murphy in Burnham-on-Sea, thanks very much.
Our other headlines tonight: fears for a man who jumped into the sea at Burnham to rescue a woman and her dog who survived their ordeal. The search has continued all day for a man who went missing after going into the water at Burnham-on-Sea. It's thought he'd been trying to rescue a woman and her dog who'd been swept from the jetty on the seafront yesterday afternoon. Well, Lee Madden has the latest information. He's at the site now. Lee, this isn't good. What's happening now?
Evening, David. Well, just over an hour ago, day 2 of this search was called off as it became dark here. The hovercrafts have been hosed down and put away for the night. Today, rescuers searched up the coast to Brean Down, all around Sturt Island and the Brew estuary. But unfortunately, there's no sign of the man they're looking for.
What started as an afternoon dog walk by the beach ended with a man being swept out to sea. Around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, a woman jumped into the water from this jetty to try to rescue her dog. It was mid-tide and the current was said to have been racing in.
It's fast and furious. The tide is one of the biggest tide sort of swings that goes on, and it's super fast off the end of the jetty and straight into the middle of the deep water, so it's very fast and dangerous here.
Seeing they were in difficulty, a man then dived straight into the waves to try to help. Although the woman and her dog managed to get to safety, the man was nowhere to be seen. Within moments, an alert went out and rescuers took to the water.
The organisation's been using lifeboats and land searches in addition to our rescue hovercraft to try and find any trace. And our thoughts are very much with the family at this difficult time.
Just before midnight, the search was called off. Around noon today, it started again. Businesses in the town have been offering free refreshments to anyone taking part.
So we want to help where we can in offering teas, coffees, drinks, any food, anything we can really, just to help out, to keep them going as they're looking and do anything we can on our end.
Today, as people wait for developments, the mood in Burnham remains sombre.
I just saw it on the news and it's quite a shock because there's been things over the years that have happened and it's quite, not that often, but when it happens it's quite shocking.
In 2012, 4-year-old Dylan Cecil was swept into the water from the same jetty as waves crashed over the side. His parents almost drowned themselves trying to save him. It was 4 days before Dylan's body was found. We're told the woman who jumped in to rescue her dog is being looked after by police welfare officers.
Well, a final decision will be made tomorrow into whether or not to resume this search. But the feeling here, given how much time the man has been in the water, is that it's very unlikely he'll be found alive.
That's a very sobering thought. Lee, thanks for that update. Thank you.